Ryan Cree!
Go time.
Yes! Ryan.
Marky Mac.
Right, how are you?
Oh, well, yeah. It's been a nice day down here in southwest. It's been nice and sunny.
Are you in Margaret River?
Yeah.
No, you picking some mushrooms?
Actually, there's no mushrooms. Well, I'm growing mushrooms that I'm picking, but I haven't found too many wild ones that I can really do much with.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes, there's lots of fungi around though. Definitely like I've seen some wild reishi and turkey tail in the where I go collect wood from.
So that grows around WA then? Turkey tail and reishi?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Medicine in that.
Yeah, 100%. I just want to start with us saying thank you so much, Ryan, for taking the time to have a chat with us today. I appreciate that so much, brother.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure, mate. I'm looking forward to it. I have been looking forward to it all week. I had to get all the marketing approvals from the company and stuff because it's all it's not as easy as it used to be, so to speak.
Yeah, you've got a few more people working for you these days.
That's right. Yeah, we've got a lot of regulations and compliance to meet and all that stuff. So
yeah, fair enough, man. I appreciate that. And I just wanted to start with a random question, but what does the man, the king, Wayne Carey, mean to you, brother?
Wayne Carey?
Yeah.
How did you know I was a North Melbourne supporter?
I just heard on the grapevine. I heard your podcast. It was an episode, I can't remember what it was called, but it was an episode a couple of years back now, and you mentioned that you go for North Melbourne.
Yeah, that's right. The Kangas. I used to wear number 18 on my back when I was running around at the Oz Kick in the juniors and all that kind of thing. Yeah, and he definitely knew how to kick a footy and knew how to take a mark and lead a team. So that was certainly an appealing thing for me. But I was also a Wayne Swass fan because I'm a left footer. So Wayne Carey, Wayne Swass, these players from the 90s were definitely. I was obsessed with footy before the Life Cykel days.
Yeah. And you grew up in country Victoria, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. My old man's from Seymour.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I've got friends that moved to Seymour. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. That's a beautiful spot in Melbourne.
Have you always been in? Have you been living in WA or like most of your life?
Yeah, I've lived in WA. I started in Kalgoorlie. Me and the big geeks are from Kalgoorlie, country WA. Yeah. And then I moved to Perth when I was like 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, brother.
Mining town.
Yeah, that's right. And I was into the mining early on as well.
Yeah, great.
Plenty of good opportunities for work there. What about yourself, brother? What was it like for you, like growing up in like rural Victoria? What are your sort of early memories?
I look back on my days in the Dandenong Ranges where I grew up and think it was very special, but you never know it at the time, you know. You kind of take it for granted and like all your friends are talking about how you live in the sticks and, you know, those kind of things. We're in the bush and stuff. But I go back to visit my parents and I just think how beautiful it is. It's there's lots of mushrooms there, that's for sure. It's very like rainforest, kind of damp in winter and lots of walking tracks and there's lots of memories of childhood playing around the Dandenong Ranges. And comparing it to the city, I mean, obviously the city brings so many opportunities for a young person and a young adult and all those kind of things. But I think naturally I'm drawn back towards larger properties and where nature is and fresh air and beautiful scenery. Yeah,
beautiful, man. And did you sort of do university in Melbourne as well?
I did. I went to university in Fitzroy and studied exercise science and psychology.
Right.
Yeah. Beautiful. I was always driven towards sport and health.
Yeah.
It's always my strong interest as a youngster.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. Because I heard on that podcast that I heard you say that you wanted to be like an AFL star when you were growing up.
Yeah, I was doing everything to play AFL and like nutrition, training, just fitness. Everything my whole life was about football.
Yeah. Beautiful, man. And then graduating from university when did you sort of make the move to WA and why was that on the cards?
I played a few seasons in the VFL, and still that dream to play in the AFL, and then I kind of moved on from that after I was about 21. I think I was 21, and I finished my university degree doing exercise science, and really enjoyed the thought of being a teacher, and teaching knowledge in sport or psychology, and then thought I'd do a teaching degree and an opportunity to move somewhere, step out of my comfort zone and go to a sunnier state. So it was kind of like between Queensland and Perth. And I had a mate that was already living in Perth and a football club that wanted me to play for them. So everything worked out to move to Perth, and didn't regret that. It was just a whole new opportunity. Perth's such a city, so we called it the land of opportunity. I think that it's a lot of room for innovation. It's beautiful weather, vast beaches, and got the chance to work for Rio Tinto in the mines and in a health role, and kind of get a bit of funds in my bank account to invest into Life Cykel and start the business journey.
Awesome, man. And is that where you met Julian, when you're like a health and wellness officer for Rio Tinto?
Yeah, well, we played footy for Carey Park in the Southwest League.
Right.
And Jules was living with my mate Aaron from Melbourne. So we were travelling, playing footy, and got to know each other and became mates, and shared common interest in health and business, and just personal development and things like that. And Jules fortunately put my name forward to get a position alongside him at Paraburdoo at Rio Tinto. Yeah. And we formed a really strong bond and a drive to collaborate on some business projects.
Yeah.
I was spending so much time together on site, and also on our time in Perth as well. So we were really, really able to focus our energy a lot on business and create something special.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I'm pretty sure I've done a few jobs on that side of Paraburdoo as well myself.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I used to do a bit of high voltage cable termination. So I was like they'd fly me in and I just do a job and then fly back home, sort of thing, back to the workshop in Perth.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good. I like Rio Tinto. They're a very good company, very well organised, very high on the safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we're well looked after, for sure.
Yeah, and you guys were doing like 8 and 6. Is that right? 8 days on, 6 days off and stuff, eh?
Yeah, had 6 days off in Perth every fortnight to really get traction with some business and projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very, very lucky the structure that we had.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's key. And you had, that's the best thing about the FIFO, isn't it? You can, those days off, make the most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys had like your own little business ventures before, like Life Cykel, hey?
Yeah, we were both doing our own stuff. We both had little fingers in some business projects, and we were learning the ropes, that's for sure. Learning by trialing and seeing, testing what would work in the market, and had no formal training or education, so it was a matter of throwing ourselves into the deep end when it came to business, and finding what works.
That's sick, man. And what about Life Cykel? You guys started in 2015?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's been 5 years now. Incredible. There's definitely a sprint for the first 3 years. I think it was absolute full throttle. We had to put everything, all of our time, and had a lot of energy to do it as well. A lot of energy to succeed, and we were able to do a crowdfunding campaign in Perth, and then 3 months, I think it was 3 to 5 months later, we were in Melbourne doing another crowdfunding campaign, expanding networks and businesses, and then getting up to Byron Bay the following year, and really not being limited by, we didn't see any limitations on how far we wanted to go, and we saw a huge popularity for people getting mushrooms into their life. and that demand, and capitalized on the ability to help people do that, and also help people set up their own mushroom businesses as well, which I'm very passionate about.
That's beautiful, man. I see a lot of the sense of community coming out of you guys. It's so awesome to see. And like one of the big things that you guys do is the education system with schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Community is vital. I mean, like look at the way look what happens when we become divided. You know, I think now is a really good example of what's happening in the world, where we have to know our neighbours, and we have to start to be open to collaborating with people face to face more, because technology is just driving us towards a direction of online, and this barrier between the screen and social skills are becoming more and more forgotten about. But yeah, our community projects, including like school programs where schools can raise money for their school playgrounds and projects and gardening projects and things like that, by raising money by selling mushroom kits. That was a good one that we had a lot of traction with from day one, but we've really now, our community building efforts are channeled through the National Mushroom Network, which is a sister company we set up to Life Cykel after meeting with new business partners in Life Cykel up in Byron Bay, Will and Sophie, and Thomas. The team grew, and then with that grew new ideas and new ways that we could assist to make a better world with mushrooms. And the National Mushroom Network has 65 members today, which are people across the whole country that are growing mushrooms for themselves, for their neighbours, on their to their farmers markets or their restaurants. And we're really passionate about that decentralisation, so we can have leaders in each community that are growing food to support strong, resilient communities.
That's huge, brother. That's so good. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I want to get you and the eagle growing some mushrooms in your backyard.
Yeah, man. We're keen as. And not only that, obviously, so you got like the bee pollination kits.
Yeah, it's incredible what mushrooms can do for bees. I mean, well, I guess our journey with bees started by assisting their immune systems to develop with great strength by feeding them medicinal mushrooms. But then looking at other ways we can assist the bees, which are vital, as we all know, for survival, by creating grow at home pollinating flower kits that anyone with any experience in growing food or plants can just put it onto their windowsill and let the flowers grow, and then put it into their garden so the bees are attracted, and assisting education with bees and for the bees to have some food and have some acknowledgement by all of us.
It's huge, man. It's huge, because I've been like listening to a lot of Paul Stamets on Joe Rogan and Tim Ferriss, and they were talking about all the viruses of the bees. It's crazy, isn't it? Like the varroa mites that invade the hives and attach themselves to like the baby bees, and then obviously there's some mushroom that grows in certain areas of the forest, isn't there? And then that sort of gives the immunity and gives the strength to the bees when they get into those sort of mushrooms coming from the rotting logs and that.
It's incredible, isn't it? I think mushrooms are so understudied, and how other animals can benefit from them. And obviously, that on the podcast that you're listening to with Paul Stamets, he's done a lot of really vital research. And if you observe bees in nature, they consume mushroom substances from mushrooms, and it's a natural process. So if we can assist them to boost their immunity naturally, it's going to help everyone, and it's vital.
Yeah, that's huge, man. And not only that with the bees, but also you look at the mycelium as well, growing underground, and it's incredible. It's like a network for all the trees to communicate to each other. It's absolutely amazing when you start to get involved and get deep with it.
Isn't it? Yeah. It's mycelium sits in the topsoil on our earth. And if you can think about what conventional farming's done with chemical use, unfortunately you'll see our grandparents will say, oh, I always used to go mushroom hunting and I pick mushrooms in my backyard all the time, but it's becoming less and less available, or you don't see the mushrooms in the paddocks like you used to because they've been killed by pesticides and chemicals in the topsoil. So it is certainly vital that, speak to permaculturists and gardeners, that they know that it's vital for there to be mycelium in the soil and fungi that assist the plants to consume nutrients and to biodegrade debris. So then the cycle keeps going on. So hopefully now we're past that point of like destroying our soil with chemicals and looking towards sustainable methods with agriculture. And movies like what Paul Stamets has put out and the popularity in mushrooms and everyone's learning. I mean, even saw you, Mark, sent some photos of some books that you purchased to learn about mushrooms.
There's this one here. I haven't started it yet, bro.
Mycelium running. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I want to get into that. I haven't started. I've got a lot of books on that shelf, but I think after our chat, I'm going to get more and more inspired and get into this one.
That's great. Yeah. It's I think it's where like it's science is becoming cool, and so to speak. We're all people of all ages and backgrounds and interests are taking interest in caring for the earth. So that's really, really positive.
Yeah. But all these things, like these have been around for thousands of years, like the mushrooms and that, and ancient Chinese herbs and stuff, and all these things, and essential oils as well. I'm getting into essential oils because my missus is right into that. So all natural and incredible stuff, like life liquid of the plants, essential oils, incredible stuff.
Nature has all the answers in the end of the day, doesn't it?
Does, yeah, 100%. And just starting Life Cykel, Brian, with Jules. What was your vision, man, back when you started?
The vision was based largely around supporting communities to grow food ethically, sustainably. So when we discovered we could use coffee waste as the growing substrate, it was really, really exciting. And we wouldn't be paying for the substrate. It was available locally that was going to go to landfill. It's nutrient rich. And it's just something feels good when you know that you're like turning a waste product into a new use. So the circular economy's become a really, really large focus of Life Cykels and the National Mushroom Network. But our vision, like we were talking about how we can utilize elderly care homes, utilize their interest in growing food and becoming more connected to each other by running projects through there, and we're exploring all kinds of things and where we would start. And when we found out that we could engage people with limited experience in growing food just to simply growing mushrooms on their bench or in their kitchen, then that was like a way that we could reach out to many people. So our mushroom grow kit is like a little shoe-sized box that you can grow in your home and grow mushrooms in 2 weeks with no experience. So that was our first product that we were launched out and got a lot of traction with. So that was our initial vision.
Yeah, awesome.
And our motivation.
Nice. And then when did you get into sort of like mushroom coffees and then like your liquid ones?
Yeah, well, just naturally through the progression of learning about the power of mushrooms, we've discovered that Chinese and Japanese cultures have been using medicinal mushrooms for their health for centuries and centuries. So it made sense that we would head down, expound our knowledge into the health benefits of all varieties of mushrooms. We started playing with building materials made out of mycelium and health properties for humans and animals, and mushroom coffee was really the way to integrate what someone would include a coffee mostly in like once a day, like seems to be a popular drink, and how we could incorporate something that would help upgrade their coffee, being mushrooms. So that was our progression into the medicinal range.
Yeah, fantastic. And then I love it. I love it because I use your biohacker kit, and what I love about that is, oh man, I love just the easiness you can use it, and just like at night I'm having my reishi, and I'm I'm getting really good sleep because I've got an Oura ring as well, so I'm sort of monitoring my REM sleep and that. I've noticed Dave Asprey's on board as well. He's an absolute legend.
Yeah, he takes, you know, his podcast. He mentioned he's taking up to 7 serves before bed, and you know,
Your lines, man. Yeah,
he reported his Oura rings REM sleep reports has been enhanced by Lion's Mane. But you know, if you look on our website, you'll see a lot of the reviews of our customers are talking about the benefits of sleep. I mean, it's the most commonly reported benefit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And when did you sort of drop those tinctures? Was that only a couple of years ago? Or?
I'd say that was 2.5 to 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. But we only recently added Kakadu Plum into the formula and expanded our range to and also include Chaga. So yeah, we've been consistently expanding our range and our formulas to make sure we can get the most benefits and flavors in the products as well. So yeah, it's an evolution and it continues to grow.
Yeah, beautiful, man. That's awesome. Kakadu Plum, local Australian, Aboriginal, beautiful, man. That's so cool and tasty as well.
Yeah, I like the flavor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. And what's like? I haven't had the Chaga one yet. What are the sort of the benefits of Chaga?
Yeah, well, Chaga we got wild harvested from America, so it's Chaga grows on birch trees, and birch trees in very cold climates, so in snowy conditions. And if you jump onto PubMed or look at some research that's been conducted on Chaga mushroom, it shows that it's such a hardy mushroom that has to fight off such a cold, harsh climate to survive, which gives that mushroom strength and very rich in antioxidants. So melanin's a compound in Chaga mushroom, and melanin is what happens when you get a suntan, because the melanin makes your skin go darker to protect your DNA from the sun damage. And yeah, the research is showing that Chaga is full of melanin. Yeah, it's an all-round beneficial mushroom that's been used for centuries by Asian cultures as well.
Yeah, that's sick. Is there any plans for you putting that in the biohacker kit as well in the future?
I think we'll soon be getting the 6-pack or a variation with Chaga in as well, because it's a super, super powerful, popular mushroom that people want to get their hands on.
Yeah, man, because like when I first experienced mushroom and mushroom coffee, it was with like a little Finnish company, Four Sigmatic, and that was like Chaga and lion's mane if used with the coffee, and that was awesome. That was just giving me a big kick because it's not much caffeine, but just the lion's mane and Chaga, you're switched on, you're alert, and your brain's going, you're focused.
Totally. We've got Chaga in our mushroom coffee with cordyceps and lion's mane.
Oh, wow.
I find the flavour is very smooth. I feel like Chaga's flavour along with coffee, the bitterness, combines and creates a really smooth taste. So if anything, I think that's assisted people to understand more about mushrooms just by increasing the flavour of their coffee, and then led them down a path of researching mushrooms as well.
Yeah, awesome. And a mate of mine was saying there's like a cafe down somewhere near Freo that they actually have your coffee there you can get, and the little barista will make one up for you. Unreal. It's
often cafes are exactly it's been becoming really popular, and often cafes will have all of the Life Cykel extracts on top of their counter, and then the customer can add a drop of which one they want in, and they charge an extra $1 per serve or something like that. So it's catering for the desire to upgrade your coffee.
That's awesome, man.
In many cafes.
Yeah. What about yourself, Ryan? Do you like to have a coffee?
I've actually probably for the last 6 months gone off coffee just to protect I find myself sensitive and taxing my adrenal system, and not getting the best sleep. Like I just found that when I stopped having it and stopped being relying on coffee, that I could still get super high energy, but not have the taxing effects of coffee. So it's some people love it, some people not. Some people have one a day, some people have 6 a day. But for me, I have the body that I just don't perform optimally on it.
Yeah, that's fair call. Yeah, it's good to have a break as well, isn't it? When you're smashing, you see a lot of people, especially at work, just smashing coffees. And it's good to have a break.
Right. And it just keeps boosting you up, but your body's got to pay for it at some stage.
Exactly, yeah. And it does. It affects your sleep as well. Like if you're having a coffee at midday, then you're not going to get like proper sleep. It takes a good 8 or 10 hours for it to get through your system.
Yeah, the half-life is 12 hours or something, isn't it?
Yeah. They're crazy, man.
So there's some form of stimulant still in there. But I mean, my parents have a coffee before they go to bed and they're fine. They always have. So I don't think there's never a one size fits all,
That's true. You got to do what works for you.
Mm.
And what about like routines and stuff, Ryan? Do you have any sort of morning routines or anything that you like to stick with?
Well, I've been really enjoying just getting out of bed and just going for a run and collecting some firewood lately.
Nice.
In the winter. Yeah. I take my axe there's a lot of public spaces that have got wood that's been put on the side of the road and things like that is only just to be collected by the council or something. So it's free for the public to grab, and I've just find it's a good workout and I'm able to get a fresh air. I've got a lot of natural walking paths and things around my place, and sometimes my partner Katie comes along and we do a wood collection and make sure we're nice and warm for that night. And it's really like way that we can incorporate something meaningful into exercise. So that really kind of gets me started. And I turn my phone off every time I go to bed at night. So then I turn my phone on when I get back from my exercise and start the day having already kind of achieved something and set my intentions right and get into the workday.
Yeah, that's powerful. I love that. Awesome. And I heard that you play a bit of guitar as well. Do you still play guitar?
Yeah, I played a lot in high school, and I am ashamed to say that I haven't picked it up for probably the last 2 months, 2 to 3 months. Like, it's just, I can see you all sitting there behind you and it kind of like, excites me. But I just think, I guess you can't do everything. And and as much as it makes me feel grounded and relaxed and like creative, I find myself with any spare time probably just trying to do some reading or focus on what's most important for my mission in life at that certain time. But I would love to find time on the weekend to play.
Yeah, that's powerful, bro. And I remember I was talking to you earlier before this podcast that I had like a bit of a visualization, and like this will probably be my last podcast for a little while, because I found that with that visualization, I was just spreading my energy to all these different little things, but I wasn't really achieving what I wanted to achieve, and it wasn't lining up with my mission. And I think it's important for me just to go hyper focus on what is your mission, like what are your values, what are you here for, and all the other stuff can come when it comes, sort of thing.
I love that. I totally resonate, and I think it's so vital, because in our modern day where we've got like Facebook messages and we've got text messages and we've got like unanswered emails and we've got calls and like this video and your friend sent you this video, and it's like we're just so attached to multitasking, and then at the end of the week, it's like, well, have you ticked off the most important things, or were you distracted? So I do. You're talking about routines. Like every time I get back from my run, or sometimes I go before my run, I write down everything that's in my head from the night before sleeping, or what I thought of when I woke up. Set my intention for the day. What's the three most important things I need to do that day, non-negotiable. So when I come back and I'm executing on that, because execution's everything. You can have a million plans, but at the end of the day, you got to look back on your life and say what was the most important thing and what you did. So I love that you've you've got that discipline to say no to some things, and it's something I learned in business. Is like, particularly early on, you just want to say yes to everything. Like, yes, we can do that partnership. Yes, we can do this deal. Yes, we can do this new product. And at the end of the day, you've got too much on your plate. So So is it music for you that is
it is
your primary?
Yeah, it's big on the Snake Bros. We've got to get this album out. We've got these songs. We've got to put in the work now. We've got to get this recording happening. Got to get the big eagle firing again on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Big bird. Get him
you guys are entertainers, so you've got to nurture that special gift that you've got and the opportunity in front of you, hey?
Yeah, especially now. There's never been a better time than the world needs entertainment. That's for sure, Ryan.
Yeah. Are you doing any like entertainment via online or anything whilst venues are open at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah. I think it's starting to fire back up again. And the beautiful thing is that people who want to come out and they want to see live music. So like venues are selling out. Obviously it's like smaller capacities because of restrictions and such, but it's a beautiful thing to see is these bands playing to like full crowds.
Right. Yeah, that's epic.
Yeah, it's firing up and
real life community entertainment is what we need.
Exactly. Connect everyone together for a good cause. Entertainment. Yeah. But we went down south. We went to Fairbridge, which is just out of Pinjarra.
Yep.
Yeah, and we were at the John Butler Studios with Big Eggs and Bushy, and we're doing a bit of recording. Recorded a couple of songs, some music, so that's ticking along, and that's the focus right now, Ryan. Yeah, definitely.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it John Butler Studio that he owns, is it?
Yeah, so it's in his name. He started it in, I think, 2015. It was sort of him giving back to the community because he spent from ages 10 to 20 in like Pinjarra and Fairbridge, like playing. So it's sort of like a community recording studio. People can go and rehearse and get some recording done there as well. We actually know the sound engineer. He's like the caretaker there. He's a mate of ours.
Right.
Yeah, Jared from Chop Street.
It's so good to see you guys out there doing what you care about and putting your energy into creating things and being hyper focused.
Yeah. That's where I need to be.
2 years ago, I met Big Eggs and I sensed that drive and focus. And then I think you might have came on the scene like soon after. And I think I met Big Eggs when he was just started. He had like one stand-up comedy event or something like that. And and we were talking a lot about what we wanted to achieve and how we want to get the best out of ourselves. And then I think then he partnered with you like soon after, and then I seen you guys doing events all over the place, and you're not letting distractions take you anywhere else. So well done.
Thank you very much, Ryan. And Eggs always speaks highly of you as well, bro. Even just meeting you once, that one time, he's just got nothing but good things to say about you, and that's how we sort of connected as well.
Yeah,
social media. Yeah, legendary. What a crazy man. But he's a beautiful man. I can't wait to get back into it, man. To get back into entertaining and showing the world what's going on.
And what about lifting weights? Is that part of the daily routine as well?
Yeah, man. I get up at 4:15 in the morning, and then I meditate, and then I go to the gym, and I just work out for about half an hour. Yeah, and then start work at 6. So get home, have a cold shower, get the mushrooms into me, the Life Cykels. Yeah, and ready to go. I just have essential oils, Life Cykel supplements, and then boom, I fast until. I was going to ask you about that actually, fasting. So would that break your fast at all? Do you know? I couldn't really see an answer.
There's small amount of calories in them, but no, I mean, your body would probably metabolize that very quickly. I mean, so technically you are breaking the fast, but on a very micro level.
Yeah.
It's certainly not going to, probably, if you're in ketosis, you'd probably stay in ketosis.
Yeah.
Pretty much, because the amount of carbohydrates in that is very minimal.
Yeah. That was my main concern. That's awesome. Sweet, man. And just going on about like how you sort of got your focus, how did you sort of work that out? Was that just through, as you said, you started and all these opportunities presented themselves and you were just taking them, but then were you sort of realizing at some stage, oh no, I need to actually bring it back. What's my purpose? Like, what are we doing here, sort of thing?
Yeah, I think the labor of love is a powerful thing. So whatever makes you most excited is what you should follow. I mean, not doing what my head thinks is right or what my parents thinks is right or what's going to make the most money or whatever. It's like, what do I dream of. What do I wake up in the morning and just spring out of bed because I'm thrilled to do? And I remember when we first started Life Cykel and we were growing mushrooms for the local farmers market, and I'd just be so excited to like take mushrooms down to there to the community and sell them. And I don't know, it's just what lit me up. So I followed that and combined what I loved with what the world needed, I guess. Try to formulate something that would inspire or was inspiring others to be a part of, and just using that those rewards or like confirmation that we're on the right path.
Yeah, beautiful, mate.
So when you've got a crowd full of screaming fans, mate, and they're loving what you're singing, I think it's a good sign that you're doing the right thing, hey?
Yeah, true. Definitely.
At your events?
Yeah, definitely, brother. And I think we touched on it before, like in the nighttime, so you sort of put your phone on flight mode and stuff. And is there anything else you sort of do to wind down, to sort of switch off for the evenings?
Yeah, lately I've been not being on the emails after 8:30, like trying to really before going to sleep, like learning something that's not so stimulating, but it's more like novel information about, like I've got some permaculture books, or watching a video about leadership or communication, or just learning something that's valuable to my life that is not so much get shit done mode, to-do list type thing. It's just something that's going to be beneficial for me to know or learn, and spending time with my partner.
Yeah. Beautiful, man.
So that's a big one. I back in the day, it'd be up on the emails till 11, 12 o'clock at night because you had to, it was just, and it's something that I was able to deal with. But, I think it comes a time where you've got to make sure that you're in it for the long run and you don't burn out and you've got balance in your life.
Yeah. And did you sort of like start outsourcing at some stage when you were building, getting bigger and bigger, and then other people can come in and handle some things that you didn't really want to, that take your time away from what you wanted to do?
Yeah, great question. I mean, for the business to succeed, it was important that Julian and I started learning how to delegate and how to get tasks completed by increasing the team or resources or getting technology that would assist with shipping or emails or whatever it may be. And we were really fortunate enough to have a lot of people inspired by what we were trying to achieve, and they wanted to assist as a volunteer or as an intern. And we had, for example, Thomas, who is our chief scientist, who is carrying the production of all of our extracts on his shoulders and innovating, making sure they're really high quality over in Byron Bay at the moment. He came on board as an intern from France, living in France, moved to live with us for a year in Fremantle, and completed his intern, and then absolutely impressed us and became one of our brothers, and as a valuable reason to where Life Cykel is today. So we kind of had the energy of people that wanted to get involved and who offered their energy for what we could afford, whether that be a small wage or skills and things like that. So I totally recommend that anyone that wants to achieve, and as you would know, it's something that Tim Ferriss talked about, ideally you are never doing anything that someone else can do. And then whatever it is that you do well is where you should be spending your time. And that's a perfect world, but certainly like something to always be aiming for is pulling the big levers on for your skill set and then outsourcing for the rest.
Beautiful, man. Yeah, that's it. Powerful. And touch on Tim Ferriss, man. Do you like to listen to a few podcasts?
I actually don't find enough time to listen to podcasts because I used to when I was driving.
Yeah.
I'd have a routine to be driving, but I do throw one on every now and then if I'm like harvesting some mushrooms or doing something that's just methodical with my hands, or on the weekend I might put a podcast on in the background. But I have listened to a few of his key overviews of his book, The 4 Hour Work Week, and some valuable key learnings that he shares.
Yeah, awesome, man. And I'll probably just ask you a couple more questions, Ryan, and I'll get you on your way, brother.
Yeah, man. I got time. We'll go for it.
You're a legend, man. One of those questions, just touching on the books, is like, what would be like 1 to 3 books that you would recommend, or one book that you'd gift to someone in particular?
Yeah, I'm reading a really valuable book at the moment called UBUNTU by Michael Tellinger. He's a South African guy, and I've got it here with me because I knew we were chatting about books before. Yeah, but that's what it is. Yeah, UBUNTU. So contributionism, and I'm really passionate. Yeah, I'm really passionate about building community that is using non-conventional methods such as moneyless trading. So Michael talks about, and I resonate with this massively, and I'm doing a little bit of it in my own community at the moment, which is sharing skills and knowledge that is not attached to monetary reward. Particularly where we've seen COVID-19 affect people's employment. There's no reason why someone that is a hairdresser can't be also a carer and a guitar teacher and a food grower. And there's many, many roles that people can play in a community that is outside of their official career. Yeah. And I started to grow mushrooms and just at my place, and then I put an ad out on the marketplace on Facebook saying mushrooms, $10 a box, will also trade for services or other food. And then, people send me messages saying, hey, Ryan, I've got some kale that I'd love to swap for some mushrooms. And I've developed a relationship with two people who live in my town who now they've taught me how to make sourdough. Wow. They've also become involved with growing mushroom from spawn, and we're doing some trials with all different kinds of substrate. So we've really built a friendship just through the idea of swapping things for money without using money. Michael talks about contributionism, where communities can invest time into a common project and create food systems that feeds everyone. And relationships is a much higher valuable resource or commodity than just how much money's in your bank. So I'm really passionate about those kind of things.
Yeah, man, that's huge. That's awesome. That's beautiful, brother.
Yeah. The other book I brought out to show you that I'm also reading is Local is Our Future.
Oh, Local is Our Future.
You see that?
Yeah.
And it's just another example. So the author is Helena Norberg-Hodge, and another example of the importance of community and decentralization. We can't just rely on a central food system that has the potential to collapse and we all go hungry. We need to have skills in all different corners of the community, and need to be able to, know our neighbours, because the long, what do they call them? The blue, is it the blue zone, where all the long, the 100 centenarians that live across the world? I mean, they always talk about one of the most vital components of their longevity is the fact that they have community relationships and support each other, and they laugh and sing and do things together. So I think that's always based with growing food in decentralized setups and focusing on local. So I highly value spending my money with local businesses and supporting the local economy, because it's always going to come back around into a circle back to me as well. So we can always benefit from that.
Yes, that's beautiful, brother. I love that.
Yes.
Nice. And I've got just one more question for you, Ryan. What are your 3 main values in life?
3 main values in life. Well, a big value, probably my first value is looking within and not without. Looking within myself for answers, not giving power to the external, but giving power to the internal. if I'm giving my power to the external, it's mean I'm looking for answers for other people's opinions, or I'm looking for answers for someone else to lead my life. And if I can't lead my life, there's an issue. So, I've stopped drinking alcohol. I've completely tried to eat food from nature that empowers me to be my true self, rather than like giving me an altered state of mind, or seeking to authority to tell me what I should do or shouldn't do. And that's led me to really like feeling a lot more sense of confidence and able to execute on what I believe in and feeling happy.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that would be my first. I think another value I strongly live by and is treating others with respect and treating others how I'd like to be treated. The natural law is that you don't harm another, because karma is a real thing. And if you do anything untoward another, it's likely that will come back to you to teach you the lesson that the universe is always looking for balance. So there's karma coming our way if we don't respect nature or respect other human beings and animals.
Beautiful.
My third value is to think critically. Always question, never stop questioning things. Don't take things for granted. Don't oblige to do things that you don't fully understand. Just to always question, because things aren't always as they seem. And when you think critically, you can create magic. You can create you can invent things. All the people in history that created amazing solutions for the world were the critical thinkers, and we all have the ability to think critically.
Yes. Awesome, man. That's powerful, Ryan. Beautiful.
Thanks, mate.
No worries.
I'll have to do an interview on you next time and find out all the magic that's coming from you when you release your first album.
Yes. In the future, no doubt. 100%, brother. And at the moment, just looking at you, it looks like a projection of God or something, brother. I don't know. It could be the mushrooms or the light or something, that you just look very holy.
The sun's just gone down and the light's here, so
yeah,
that's what it is.
Unreal. Right. You and Jules have done such an amazing job, bro. Like, just awesome bringing the community together. And with the product, it's natural, it's from nature, it's the best. Mushrooms are incredible. Mushrooms are the keys to the universe. And just keep doing your message, bro. It's so powerful. It's incredible. What you're doing is amazing. And you're an absolute legend. And I appreciate so much from the bottom of my heart for you to just give some time to me. I appreciate that, brother, so much.
It's been a great chat, Mark. I really appreciate you thinking of me to have a chat. And I'll be following your journey, and I just really appreciate today. And thanks very much for having me.
No worries, brother. And we can find you on Life Cykel. That's where you are, everywhere. Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. And nationalmushroomnetwork.com, which is the domain of our company that importantly helps people start their own micro business, grow mushrooms for their family and community, and build micro communities across Australia.
What was that called again? Sorry, Natural Mushroom?
nationalmushroomnetwork.com.
National Mushroom. No worries, brother. Awesome. All right, Ryan, enjoy the rest of your evening, man. Thank you very much, bro.
Thanks, Mark.
Much love.
Speak soon, mate.
Speak soon. Take care, brother.
See you, mate.
Yes, see you, brother. Ew.